Hello student, in this lecture we are going to start a new module. The name of this module is Geological Disaster and the Control Measures. Uh, we know that the different disasters, geological disasters like volcanoes, earthquakes, then landslides. Okay, so these are going to study in this unit and their control measures. So the first geological disaster that we are going to study in this module is the volcano. Firstly, what is mean by the volcano? Volcano refers to the eruption of hot molten lava from the below the surface of the earth. Okay, so the volcano is nothing but the vent or the fissure in the earth crust through which the hot lava or the volcanic gases are thrown out. Okay, um, these volcanic eruptions may be explosive or may be quiet. Okay, then as we know that the earth's upper mantle is called as an asthenosphere. Okay, and this is nearly molten. Yeah, in the asthenosphere, the molten materials are present. So magmas is originates over at the asthenosphere. Okay, this magma is then migrates upward after along the faults. Through the faults, this magma is migrates in the upward direction, and then in the volcanoes, the magma rises to the chimney-like opening. In the figure, you can see. Okay, this magma here is the magma chamber. Okay, and this in this volcano, the magma is rises through the chimney-like opening. Here is the chimney-like opening, and this is called as an vent. Okay, this is called as an vent. Here is the small side vent, and here is the main vent. Okay, this is an chimney like opening through this magma chamber. Okay, and through this vent the magma is rises in the upward direction. Okay, and then it reaches to the surface. It reaches to the surface of the earth, and then it is called, we are called is as a lava. Means at the surface the pressure in the rising magma falls, and then as a result dissolved gases are separated out, and such a magma is called as a lava. Means the magma, that is the molten materials which are present inside the surface of the earth, when it comes out, uh, uh, when it migrates to these vents and then comes on the surface of the earth, that time what happened, the dissolved gases are separated out. Okay, and the pressure in the rising magma falls, and this type of the magma is called as a lava. Okay, and then in addition to this emission of the gases and the molten lavas, vast quantities of the fragmented materials, that is called as an pyroclast, are also produced during these volcanic eruptions. Okay, along with means emission of with the emission of the gases and also the molten lavas, vast quantities of the fragmented materials are also erupted, and these fragmented materials are called as a pyroclast. Okay, then this materials accumulates around the vent. Here these materials are accumulated around the vent, and the conical hill like masses are formed in this way, and these are called as a conical we and this conical structure is called as an volcanic cones. Okay, the pyroclasts are accumulates around this vent, and the conical hill like structure is formed, and this is called as a volcanic cone. Okay, these volcanic cones have side vents as well. Here you can see that this is the main vent. Okay, and due to the continuous eruptions of the hot lava, and also with this hot lava, the fragmented materials are also erupted from this through this volcano, and then what will happen, the cone is formed of this pyroclastic materials. Okay, and this cone conical hill like masses form are called as a volcanic cones. These volcanic cones have the side vent. Here you can see this is a side vent. This is a smaller than the main vent. Okay, the smaller cone, and they also form some cones, smaller cones. They are also form the smaller cones, and they are called as a parasitic cones. Okay, the cone which is formed due to the due to this main vent are called as a volcanic cones. Okay, and the cone which is a smaller cone which is formed around this side vent are called as a parasitic cones. Okay, then the circular depressions here in the figure, here is the structure of this composite volcano. Okay, hmm. Here the eruption in the figure you can see this is a magma chamber. Okay, and when as the temperature rises it goes in the upward direction. Okay, and through the fault, and then this is a main vent through which the conical like structure called as a vent through which the magma is rises in the upward direction. Okay, and these are the side vents. Then due to the continuous eruption, what will happen, the conical masses are formed, and these are called as a coni- uh, conical volcanic cones. So here is the volcanic cones, and here is the side vents, and the cones which are formed due to these side vents are called as a parasitic cone. Okay, then here is the crater. The circular depression found at the top of the volcanic cones are called as a crater. Here, the small depressions is at the top of this volcanic cones, and these depressions are called as a volcanic crater. Okay, and the greater or the enlarged crater, greatly enlarged crater is then again called as a caldera. Okay, then caldera is a magnetic depression in the diameter on which it may be 16 kilometer or more than that. Okay, when these depressions are more greatly mm, enlarged crater is called as a caldera, and the diameter of this caldera is about 16 kilometer or sometimes more than that. Okay, most of this caldera there are may have resulted either due to the blowing of the summit of the volcanic cone by the explosive action. Okay, then here is in the figure you can see this is a steam which is erupted due to the erupted at the time due to this volcanic eruption. Here is the eruption of the lava, then ash, then here the pyroclastic material. Here there is the pyroclastic material and they form a cone. Okay, then here the solidified lava layer. Okay, then these are the side vents, and here is the asthenosphere over which the magma originates, and then it is migrates in the upward direction. Above the asthenosphere the lithosphere is there. Okay, so this is the structure of this composite volcano. Then how they are formed, when the tectonic plates collides and go through the process of subduction, it sets the foundation for the volcano. Okay, in the previous lectures we studied the plate tectonics. In that we know that the plates are of different types. Some of them are continental, or some of them are contains the oceanic plates. Okay, when these plates are collide, okay, that time they are undergo the process of subduction, and then it says the foundation for this volcano. The overlapping of this tectonic plate causes the magma to break through this crust. Okay, and through which the causes of the which is the cause of the volcanic birth. And when the temperature and the pressure rises, the rock melts and moves through the surface and the crust and releases the gases and the magma, and then the volcanic eruption occurs. Okay, so you greatly uh, understand the how the volcanic eruptions or the volcano is formed. Okay, then this volcano is divided into the different types. So our next point is the types of the volcano. These volcanoes are commonly do not erupt continuously for the long period. Okay, and most of them show the intermittent activity. These volcanoes not the eruption is not continuous. Okay, they are showing the intermittent activity, and depending on the variation in the frequency of their activity, the volcanoes are divided into three types. So first is the active volcano, second is the dormant volcanoes, and third is the extinct volcano. Okay, so first is the active volcano. Active volcano means what? Currently erupting or recently erupted. Okay, here uh, the active volcano means what? Uh, it is the one in which the eruption occurs very often. Okay, the eruptions are very often. They are mostly occurs in the crustal plate boundaries. These active volcanoes are occurs in the crustal plate boundaries. These volcanoes that occurs along the Great Arc around the Pacific Ocean from the Chile to the East Indies is the best example of this active volcano. Okay, the volcano which is at the around the Pacific Ocean from Chile to the East Indies is the example of this active volcano. This active volcano is again divided into three types. First is the shield volcano, then the cinder cone volcanoes, and the composite volcano. These are we are going to study in the further slides. Then the second type is the dormant volcano. Dormant volcano means what? The volcanoes which shows the interruptions after the long interval of the time, means the does not erupt for the some time. These dormant volcanoes are shows the eruption after the long intervals of the time. Okay, so these are called as an dormant volcano, or also we can call this as an inactive volcanoes. Okay, dormant volcano is also called as an inactive volcanoes. Then third is the extinct volcanoes. Third type of the volcano is the extinct volcano, means stopped erupting. The volcanoes in the in an ancient volcano which has not shown any volcanic activity since a very long time in the geological history are called as an extinct volcano, means the eruptions is completely stopped. Then this type of the volcano is called as an extinct volcano. Okay, so these are the three main types of the volcano. Here is the figure you can see. This is an active volcano. Then third is the dormant volcano, and last one is the extinct volcano. Okay, here the magma chamber is completely empty. Okay, then active volcano, here you can see the magma chamber is completely filled, and it is the eruption is very often. Okay, so then it is called as an active. Then dormant means which shows the eruption after the intervals of time, then it is called as dormant. And third is the extinct volcano, where the magma chamber is completely empty, that means which is an where the eruption is completely stopped, then it is called as an extinct volcano. Okay, next is the products of the volcano. The three different types of the materials are thrown from the volcano, which are the gaseous material, liquid material, and the solid material. So first is the gaseous product. The most important constituent of the volcanic gases is the steam. Okay, so here the steam is the most important constituent of this volcanic gases. It forms nearly 90% of this total gas content. Steam is the nearly 90% of this total gas content, and the other steam gases are carbon dioxide, then nitrogen, and then sulfur dioxide. Okay, and also the smaller amount of the hydrogen, and then hydrogen, then carbon monoxide, then sulfur and the chlorine. Okay, so these gases are also erupted at the time of the volcanic eruption. Okay, the steam is nearly 90% of this total gas content. Then second product is in liquid product, means the lava. Here the acidic lava and the basic lava is erupted. Okay, the liquid emissions from the volcano is known as a lava. Okay, the lavas of an acidic composition and are the acidic composition lava is more viscous and less mobile than the highly fluid basic lava. Acidic lava is more viscous and less mobile than the basic lava. Okay, the fluid lava results in the calm eruption as they allow the dissolved gases to escape freely, whereas in the viscous lava, means in the active lava, the gases do not escape freely here. Okay, the gases are not accept freely. They frequently build up the internal pressure to produce the violent eruptions. So the lava which is erupted is divided into the acidic lava and basic lava. Okay, the basic lava is less viscous and more mobile, whereas an acidic lava is more viscous and less mobile. Okay, the liquid products which are emitted from the volcano is called as a lava. Then the third type of the volcanic products is the solid products. Beside this gaseous and liquid lava, volcano also yield the solid rock fragments. Okay, of the various size. Various size of the rock fragments are erupted at the time of the volcanic eruption, and these rock fragments are thrown out by the accepting gases during the violent eruptions. These rock fragments are thrown out. When the fragments of very viscous lava are blown off into the air, then they solidify quickly and fall to the ground as an pyroclast. Okay, then the rock fragments produced during the volcanic eruptions are called as an pyroclast. Okay, and then uh, depending upon the size, the pyroclasts are again divided into the different groups. Okay, the pyroclasts are produced. The rock fragment produce the pyroclasts, and these pyroclasts is divided into the different groups. So first is the volcanic blocks. Volcanic blocks. Volcanic blocks means what? The bigger angular fragment of the dead lava is called as an volcanic blocks. And these volcanic blocks are formed when the large pieces of the solidified lava are blown off during the explosion. The volcanic blocks are formed when the large pieces of the solidified lava are blown off during the explosion. Okay, next group is the volcanic bombs. Volcanic bombs means what? Bigger, somewhat rounded or the spindle shaped fragments are called as a volcanic block. Okay, bigger or somewhat rounded or the spindle shaped shaped fragments are called as a volcanic bombs. These volcanic bombs are clouds of live lava which generally solidify before reaching the ground. Okay, these volcanic blocks are the clouds of the live lava, which generally solidified before reaching the ground. Then third type is the lapilli or the cinders. Cinders means what? The rock fragments with the size of the gravels or the peas are called as a lapilli or the clinders. Means the size of this pyroclasts is about 4 mm to 32 mm. Okay, it is it is this rock, these pyroclasts having a size of the gravels or the peas. Then it is called as a lapilli or the cinders. Normally their size ranges from 4 mm to 32 mm. Okay. Then the ash is also erupted. Pyroclasts contains the also ash. Okay. The particle size having 0.25 to 4 mm are called as a volcanic ash. The particles that range in the size of 0.25 to 4 mm are called as a volcanic ash. Okay, and the last type of the pyroclast is in dust. Very fine particles, that means it is less than 0.25 mm. Okay, these are also included in the solid pyroclast. So these are the volcanic product. When the volcanic ash and the dust consolidated from the rocks, then it is called as a tuff. Okay, the volcanic ash and the dust on the consolidation form a rock. They are both leave after the consolidation. They are form a rock which is called as a tuff. Okay, when the hot ash here, the hot ash and also with the glassy hot ash with the glassy shades falls, it stickly together to form a welded rock, welded tuff. Okay, when the hot ash is falls, it sticks together. Hot ash is to sticks together and they form the welded tuff. Okay, then the terms also the agglomerate and the volcanic breccia means what? The large fragments, here is the large fragment, such as bombs, the volcanic bombs and also the volcanic blocks. Okay, they are commonly accumulate near the volcanic points. These volcanic bombs and also the volcanic blocks are accumulated around this volcanic cone. Okay, and then they produce the rocks, and these rocks are called as an agglomerate or the volcanic breccia. Okay, then the term. So next our point is the volcanic cones. Okay, so in the figure you can see the three different types of the volcanic cones. First is an cinder cones, second is an lava cones, and third is an composite cones. Okay, so the first is a first we will see the cinder cones. Here, the successive eruption from the single vent result in the accumulation of the volcanic material around it. When the eruption is occurs, the volcanic eruptions occur. That time, what will happen? The parasitic materials are formed, and they are forming the cone-like structure. Okay, and these cones are of three types: the cinder volcano, that is cinder cones, then the composite cones and the shield cones. First we will see the cinder cones. These are the shield sided and these are the steep sided volcanic cones which are built up of the fragmented materials. Okay, mostly cinders are present. Such cones are usually very symmetrical, and here the slope of this cinder volcano is very steep. Okay, and it contains a fragmentary materials like a cinders. Such a cones are usually symmetrical and have the circular craters. Here, the craters is a circular in shape. Okay, the cinder cones are very small in size. Cinder cones are very small in size, and their height is up to the 300 meters. The height of these cinder cones is up to the 300 meters. Okay, so this is our first cone, that is the cinder cone. Next is an lava cone. Okay, lava cone is also called as a shield cone. Lava cones are composed mainly of the solidified lava. Okay, here these lava cones are composed mainly of the solidified lava flows. They are much flatter. These lava cones are very flatter. Okay, and they are much flatter than the cinder cones. Cinder cones पेक्षा ते एकदम कमी असतात किंवा त्यांचा फ्लॅट एरिया असतो फील्ड कोन वोल्कॅनोचा. ओके, they have a slope of about a few degrees at the flanks and nearly 10 degree near the summit. Okay, here this shield, the lava cones are very small in size or they are flat. Okay, the volcanoes having such a cone are called as a shield volcano. Okay, the cones which are formed due to this lava cone are called as a shield volcano. Okay, they derive their name from the shape of the cones, which is more or less like a shield. Okay, the cones are like a shield, so they are called as a shield volcano. The Hawaiian volcano are the most important type of this shield volcano. Okay, and third type of the cone is an composite cone. Okay, composite cone means what? These cones are composed of alternate layers of the pyroclastic material and the solidified lava flows. In the figure, you can see the alternate layers are present in this composite cones. Okay, so so layers are of pyroclastic material over which the solidified lava flows. Okay, so these layers are alternate layers. The cones which are formed due to these alternate layers of the pyroclastic material and the solidified lava flows are called as a composite cone. The composite cone usually a steep summit and it is rather gently sloping flanks. Okay, the contributing magma has an andesitic to rhyolitic composition. The volcanoes which possess such a marked stratification are called as stratovolcanoes. The example of this is the Vesuvius and the Mount Fuji in the Japan is an example of this composite cone, stratovolcanoes. Okay, and the cone which are formed due to this stratovolcanoes is called as a composite volcano. Next point is the volcanic eruption. The volcanic eruptions is divided into two types. First is an central eruption and next is an fissure eruption. Central eruption means what? The emission of the lava take place to the vent. Here in the figure, here is the first type of the eruptions, that is the central eruption. The eruption is occurs to the chimney-like opening called as a vent. Okay, such a volcano usually exhibit a cone or the crater arrangement here. Okay, such a type of the volcano usually exhibit the cone or the crater arrangement. This volcano may have the parasitic cones on the flanks of the main structure. Okay, the volcanoes which are erupted through the chimney-like opening are called as a circular eruption. Is called as central eruptions. Okay, the eruptions occurs through the chimney-like opening as called as central eruption. And second type of the eruption is a fissure eruption. In the figure you can see the fissure is there. Okay, and the lava is flows through this fissure. The basic lava issues relatively quiet from the linear fissure in the earth crust. Okay, these lavas cover a very large area before solidifying and considerable thickness of the rock are formed. from the repeated eruptions. Okay, the lava is erupted through this fissure. Okay, and they are flowing in the nearby area, and they forms a different layers of this lava. Okay, this vast accumulation of this solidified lava are called as an plateau basalt. Okay, the layers are different layers are formed one above the other through this continuous eruption through the fissure. Okay, and the plateau are formed. Okay, and these are called as a plateau basalt. The example of this is a Deccan traps. Okay, which cover the area of mm, which cover the more area. Okay, due to the in the central India. Deccan Traps is an example of this fissure eruptions. Okay, so here we study the two different eruptions. First is the central eruption, and second is the fissure eruption. Next, these the chief types of the volcanic eruptions are also there, uh, like an Hawaiian type, then Strombolian type, Vulcanian type, then Vesuvian type, then Plinian type, Pelian type. These are the different types of the volcanic eruption. The main two types are the central eruption and again and then fissure eruption. Okay, and along with these, there are also different types of the eruption. The first is as an Hawaiian type. It means the in this Hawaiian type eruption, the mobile lava of basaltic composition is discharged relatively quiet. Okay, ex-Hawaiian volcanoes as in Mauna Loa, and this is an example of this Hawaiian type. Next is an Strombolian type. Strombolian type. In this type of the eruption, the viscous lavas are erupted with the moderate explosion. For example, the Stromboli volcano in the Sicily. This is an example of the Strombolian type. Then the Vulcanian type. Here, the eruption is more violent and eject the cinders like cinders, ash and dust. Okay, the dark clouds of the dust forms due to this Vulcanian type of the eruption. Next type is an Vesuvian type. So in this type, the lava uh, charged with the gaseous erupt from a cauliflower like clouds of the gases and dust at the great height. Okay, this type of the eruption is called as a Vesuvian type. Then Plinian type. It is the most violent and the type of the volcanic eruption, in which the blast of the uprushing gases rises to the great heights. Okay, and last type is the Pelian type. Pelian type of the eruption is what? The most viscous lava is thrown out through this Pelian type of the eruption. Okay, so these are the other type of the eruptions. Main type is the central eruption and the fissure eruption. Okay, then next point is the surface of the lava flows. The surface texture of the lava flows is depends upon the temperature of the lava, then the composition of the lava, and the velocity of the flow during the eruptions. Okay, the texture of the lava is depending upon the 3 points: the temperature of the lava, composition of the lava, and the velocity of the flow during the eruptions. Yeah, and according to these, the texture, the surface texture of these consolidated over lava flows are divided into 3 types: blocky lava, ropey lava, and the pillow lava. So first is a blocky lava. This blocky lava is very highly viscous and also slow moving. Okay, and the movement is often very slow. The slow moving lava generally have a rough and the clinker-like surface. Such lava is called as a blocky lava. The lava which containing the rough and the cylinder-like structure are called as a blocky lava. Next type is a ropey lava. Ropey lava means the lava flow has a smooth but twisted surface. Then it is called as a ropey lava. Smooth but twisted surface are formed due to the fast flowing basaltic lava. Then it is called as a ropey lava. Then third type is a pillow lava. The basaltic lava solidifying at the sea surface exhibits the pillow-like structure. Okay, then they are called as a pillow lava. The diameter of such a ellipsoids vary from the few centimeters to the few meters. The lava having such a type of the surface are called as a pillow lava. Okay, glassy outside and finely crystalline inside. Here is a figure which is showing the three different types of the lava flows. First is the ropey lava, then blocky lava, and the pillow lava. Here, mm, the ropey lava is there. Okay, the lava flows as a smooth and twisted surface. In the figure, you can see the smooth but twisted surface is there. Then it is called as a ropey lava. Okay, then here is the blocky lava. It is because of the high silica content, it is very viscous. Their movement is very slow. Okay, then such a moving lava generally the rough or the cinder like surface is called of the lava is called as a blocky lava, and third type is a pillow lava. Okay, so next point is the phenomenon associated with the volcanism. The hot spring, then foam rolls, um, and sometimes glaciers are formed in the volcanic region. So first, and also the mud volcanoes. These are the phenomena which are associated with this volcano. The first is an hot spring. Hot springs are very commonly found associated with this volcanic activity of this descent. Like surface water coming in contact with the hot rocks or the gaseous, and then it re-emerges as a hot spring. This is the first phenomenon which is associated with the volcanism. That means hot springs are formed. How they are formed? When the surface water which is penetrated into the ground, it is maybe heated either by the either in the contact with the hot rocks or the gaseous. Okay, and then when it is reemerges on the surface, then it gives the hot spring. Okay, so next phenomenon is in foam rolls. When the jets, and here is the figure which is showing the three phenomena. This is an hot spring which are formed due to the volcanic. This hot spring is associated with this volcanic activity. Next is an foam rolls. Here the foam rolls means what? When the jet of the steam and the hot gases are discharged from the volcanic vein, it is called as a foam rolls. And the jet of the steam, here in the figure you can see the jet of the steam or the hot gases are discharging from this volcanic vent. This jet of the steam is called as a foam rolls. Okay. Next is the glaciers. Means what? The fountains of the hot water ejected periodically are called as glaciers. Here the in the figure you can see the fountain is there, and which is of the hot water. Okay, the fountain of the hot water which is ejected periodically are called as an glacier. These glaciers is height of this is about 30 to 60 meter. Okay, and the last type of the phenomena which is connected to the volcanism is an mud volcano. Here in the figure you can see the mud volcano. In this case, the hydrocarbon gases, muddy, saline water, and some traces of petroleum are discharged from the cone of the dried mud. Okay, the hydrocarbon gases, muddy saline water, and some traces of the petroleums are erupted through this type of the volcano. Okay, such type of the volcano is called as a mud volcano. Next, the volcanic activity. Next point is the volcanic activity and the plate tectonics. So according to the plate tectonic theory, there are three principal zones of this volcanic activity: spreading centers, subduction zones, and the regions within the plate themselves, means the intraplate volcanic activities. Okay, so now uh, uh, our next point is an origin of the magma. The magma is originate uh, uh, in the asthenosphere. Okay, and it is of three types: the basaltic magma, andesitic magma, and the rhyolitic magma. First is in basaltic magma. The most basaltic magma is believed to originate in the particularly molten asthenosphere at the depth of around 200 kilometers. The basaltic magma is originated at the depth of 200 kilometers from the surface of the earth. Means this basaltic magma is originated in the asthenosphere, molten asthenosphere. Then the andesitic magma. Andesitic magma, which is the of intermediate composition. It is believed to be originated mainly by the process of differentiation of the basaltic magma. Andesitic magma is formed due to the differentiation in the basaltic magma. And third is the rhyolitic magma. Rhyolitic magma erupts when the rhyolitic lavas erupt only from the volcanoes which are located in the continental crust. This magma is believed to be to have the form in the remelting the continental crust. Okay, so this is how the magma is originates. So in this lecture we have studied what is meant by the volcano, then the different types of the volcano, and also the surface of the lava flows, then the volcanic cones, volcanic eruptions. Okay, hope you have understand all this concept. Okay, now we will stop over here. Thank you.